Hey, welcome back, LTP listeners. We are going to continue with episode number 144, part 2, right about now. All right, so our feature presentation tonight, we've got special guest Fernando in the house via technology. Back at you, brother. But before that, Jess was recently at the parks doing
a very ninja type trip, by the way. Not quite as ninja as her last one, but still.
And by the way, she FaceTimed me there.
I know,
and you were not there.
No, I was on an island, and I didn't realize that I was getting FaceTime.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right.
I was not that far from you. A scant 30 miles.
Yeah.
But, big, huge body of water was separating us. But, yeah.
So, Jess, tell us about how it was. Highlight, low light.
So, it was, I've had this trip planned, and I had it planned to go with someone. I did not know who, but I had put the offer on the table for anybody.
No, I didn't hear the offer.
I know, where was mine? I called BS. And Fernando was like, "Hey, I'm right there. What about me?"
I'm gonna be Jess. That is a bold face. That is a bold-faced lie.
Lie.
The offer was on the table for girlfriends. Is that better?
Okay, yes, that's fine.
Hey,
I can
girlfriend.
snap. Look it.
I know. Wait, I was gonna do that. Girlfriend.
So, one of my friends was supposed to go, but then she canceled.
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah, kind of lame.
Still isn't comfortable with COVID. She's not comfortable going to the park yet.
I gotta go yell at her.
I know. So I hopped on a plane by myself, and I went to the park. I was only in the park for a day. I was in Anaheim for 2. So I got I got there that morning, dropped my bags off at the hotel, went straight into the park. I rode Pirates. First ride I rode, it did not break down. We didn't have to get evac'd, but the boats were backed up pretty far. Like, I was in to where not quite the lift, but all of the wood burning. We've passed the pirates in the cage trying to get the key. We're now just where the wood is burning.
Yep.
For 12-ish minutes. And then I see this bright light. So cast members opened a door, and there's these cast members coming out with flashlights, like looking for something on the ground. It was really weird, and it was really out of show. And I understand why they don't shut that ride. They won't, stop the ride, evac it to look for something. But I sat there probably for a good 35 minutes on this boat. And because of COVID, I'm a single rider. I get a whole row to myself. If they see parties, so I had a whole row to myself, and I'm just sitting there. And then the cast members went back in, and then they come back out, and they've got maintenance with them this time. And they're all have flashlights, and it's like they were looking for, I don't know what they were looking for, because there's no pressure pads on that attraction. Like, somebody didn't get out, step on one, and shut the ride down. So I don't know what it was. But that was my first encounter, was Pirates. Stuck on it for a very long time. And then I went and I rode the Mark Twain.
Nice.
But before Pirates, I called you guys. I FaceTimed you guys.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't eaten, and I'd been up since 4. So I sat down right in front of the rivers and ate. What did I buy? It was like a veggie cup.
Yeah.
I had celery, carrots, and broccoli for breakfast. And then I rode Pirates. After that, the Mark Twain. And then I roamed for a little bit, did some shopping. I did not once step foot into Fantasyland.
Oh, no.
What?
Not once.
Wow.
I did not go into Fantasyland.
Was there a reason for that?
No, I wanted to ride rides. And I felt guilty for paying $260 for one day.
$260.
$260 at a park hopper.
It's $260 for that?
The park hopper's an extra $60.
What?
Yeah, I know. Look at Fernando. He's like, holy hell.
So I felt guilty for not riding rides, but I didn't want to rush myself. I just wanted to be there.
Mhm.
I just wanted to see the people, hear the music. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm going to ride some rides, but I'm just here to be here. So I roamed a lot, and then I ended up at Trader Sam's really early. Really early. I racked up an $80 tab by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had lots of cocktails, and they like because Trader Sam's was open, but you had to like go to the hostess because they have to seat you. And I said, well, I'm doing it on the app. It says 35 minutes for a wait, and he goes, no, it can be 35 minutes. And I said, for one person, and he goes, oh, you're by yourself. And I was like, great, make me feel bad about my life. Like, yes, I'm here by myself. Like, and so,
No girlfriend.
yeah. And so, but he was really nice. And I was FaceTiming Shannon, and was holding my phone, like, facing him for some weird reason. So then he, like, starts waving at her. He's, like, waving at 13. And he goes, here, I gave him my number, and he goes, okay, we'll text you when it's ready. So, that there's, like, that fireplace in the...
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I like it, yeah.
I sat there for a good 30, 40 minutes by myself, and just hung out. And I was just relaxing. And then finally got into Trader Sam's, and it's a bartender that I've met. I know him from previous times.
Oh, cool.
And they sat me right at the bar.
Yes.
And all that, good stuff. So I had a lot to drink, and then I was basically trying to kill time until after 1 so I could get into DCA.
Hold on. What did you drink there?
What did I have? A whiskey sour.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
A lemon drop.
Bad.
And their whiskey sours aren't good because they don't have egg whites, so they're not like...
Oh,
proper.
really?
Yeah.
Lame.
Whiskey sour, lemon drop, and then after that one, he was like, well, what do you want next? And I just said, surprise me. And then he made me some weird concoction. I don't know, but it was good. It was called the Saturn. That's what it was called. It was called the Saturn. And it was good. And then I had like a Hawaiian plate. It had macaroni salad, pork belly.
Oh, yep.
And that's usually my go-to if I'm going to eat. That's usually what I get there.
Yep.
So, yeah, I had that. I was just trying to kill time to get into DCA because my pass, I could get in at 1.
260.
When I got into DCA, I kind of roamed.
Holy crap! I can't go to 260.
Did you look? Did you think I was wrong?
No, I didn't look at all. I haven't done
no.
anything. I've not checked anything here, but I cannot believe 260.
It was 265 for one day. Both parks.
Wow.
Hi, welcome to Disneyland, where we take your money because we know you'll take it or you'll give it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might have gotten the Saturn, but at that one, the drink they're giving you is a Uranus.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
So I got into DCA, and Anna and Elsa were out, and so I had to FaceTime Cora so that she could see Anna and Elsa. And then she's like, well, I want her to say hi to me. Like, all right. So I stood in line, and then I flipped the camera so that Cora could see her. And, Elsa's talking to me, and I was like, oh, no. I was like, my 3-year-old niece wants to say hi. And so then she started saying hi to Cora and whatnot. So that was good. By that time, I wanted to make sure that I had made it to the castle lighting for the night, and that was at like 7. No, it was at 8:30. So I was like, I had time. I rode one ride in DCA. One. Yeah, for an extra $60.
Great.
I mean, Anna and Elsa, but I rode cars.
Okay.
Okay.
I wanted to ride monsters, just in case, because I don't know the next time I'm going. So, but I didn't get to. So I rode cars. I didn't get to ride Guardians, which is unfortunate.
Aww.
But the single rider line for cars was a good 50 minutes.
Single rider?
So, yes. So I was getting frustrated because the line was so long. Then, after I'd gotten off, the single rider line was non-existent. So I put 2 and 2 together that the ride was probably down. And they were pushing people through the single rider line that they were like bringing back that, were stuck in line or that were stuck on the attraction.
Mm-hmm.
So then, I went back to Disneyland. I sat and waited for the lighting of the castle. I videotaped a little bit. Then I realized I needed to call Shannon so she could watch it with me. And I didn't do my makeup that day. But just let me backtrack. I didn't do my makeup.
That's super important.
Oh my God! How?
But I did my makeup. I went back. I walked back to the hotel, did my makeup, and then I forgot I went to Goofy's Kitchen by myself because if you're a 32-year-old woman, what else are you gonna do when you're in Disneyland?
Okay.
You're gonna go.
Hold on. Let me jump in on
Go
that
ahead.
real quick.
Go ahead, chime in.
And we were talking.
Yeah.
I came back from Catalina that day, and my flight got delayed. I'm like, okay, well, what am I gonna do? It was only 15 minutes, and I'm texting Jess at this time. I'm like, hey, if I would have gotten delayed an hour, I totally would have just gone over to you, had dinner, and then come back.
Because my reservation was for 2 people. Because I intended somebody going with me.
Lo and behold, I go to the airport, and they keep on pushing my flight back. If I would have known they wound up backing it up an hour and 15 minutes. I totally would have gone had dinner at Goofy's Kitchen before I flew back home. And I'm like, and we were texting back and forth, and she's like, oh no. I'm like, oh my God. I would have loved to have done that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to, I rode cars, then I went back, or no, I don't even remember now. My life is all convoluted. But when I went to Goofy's, the guy that was like seating people was the same guy that was the host at Trader Sam's that morning.
Oh, jeez.
And he
Oh,
goes,
you're by yourself?
Yeah, he goes, you look familiar. I was like, you're funny. And then he kept walking by my table, and and he was like, I feel like I should just be documenting your meals so that you can send them to the person that bailed on you. And I was
wow.
Jeez, that's cold.
And he was really nice. But then I was getting ready to leave. I was getting ready to leave Goofy's, and he's like, he goes, are you doing like a tour of the Disneyland Hotel or something? I was like, no, I have park tickets. I'm just an alcoholic. Like, I'm drinking. And then I was leaving, and he goes, where are you going to watch the fireworks? And I was like, in front of the castle. And he goes, oh, you have park tickets. Gotcha. He goes, because he was going to walk me up to the concierge lounge in the Disneyland Hotel and get me into the concierge so I could watch the fireworks.
Oh, jeez. I would have done that.
Dang.
Yeah, pretty girl.
Yeah,
He would
no.
have been hitting on you, but the only way he didn't ask you your top 3 droids.
And no, wait. And Jess now actually has a list of top 3 droids. I know she does.
I do. The red one, the green one, and the
There you
white
go.
one.
Good enough.
Well, those are all R units, aren't they?
Yeah,
So,
they're
yeah,
all
the-
R2 unit, yeah.
R2
I
units.
went back to the park, rode cars because I wanted to ride it at night.
Oh, yeah, you have to. Oh, my God.
Yeah, rode it at night.
Fernando has a question.
Yes.
Was Goofy's Kitchen still buffet?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
Blows my mind. And I got really upset about this. It is a buffet, and they ask that you wear your mask when you go to the buffet. Fine, no big deal. But the characters do not walk around to tables anymore. They come out, do like a 3.5-minute dance, and then they're gone.
Like Chuck
Yeah.
E. Cheese.
So the characters cannot come to your table because of the pandemic,
Sure.
but you can serve yourself at a buffet where hundreds of other people are going to touch the same shit you're touching.
Right.
Sorry. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, but it was good.
Okay. Hey, did you happen to look at did you happen to like peek inside Steakhouse like 55 at all?
It's closed off. It's all seating. Like, it's just like The bar's gone. It's all just like you can sit and wait for your name to be called for Goofies.
Okay.
Oh, that's another thing. The lady was like, hey, she goes, well, your table will be ready in a minute. She goes, but if all our pictures are complimentary now. So make sure you go over there and take a picture. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to go take a picture with Goofy. Like, why not? There's no character there. You're taking a picture by yourself.
That's ridiculous.
What?
Why would they have you're standing out there to take a photo, but they won't come to your table? So they're gone. They're not there.
Logic.
Yeah. So after that, I rode cars, then booked it back over to Disneyland to watch the lighting. And that's okay. Backtrack. That's why I had my makeup done because I was going to dinner, and I bawled like a small little child. As soon as it started snowing, I was I was a mess because I haven't seen that in years. And so yeah, it was awful. Then I went and I rode Mansion.
Good.
And then I went and did single rider for Space.
Good.
By that time, it was probably 10. And the park's going to be open for another 2 hours. And I was like, I'm tired. I'm ready to go back. Like, I roamed. I got my just like my vibe for the park. I feel good. And I was talking to 13. And she was like, well, go ride one more thing. And I was sitting on a bench at the hub. And she's like, go ride one more thing. I was like, all right. And so I was going to go ride Matterhorn.
Mm.
And I didn't. But I started walking that way, and then I saw Small World with all the Christmas lights.
Oh, yeah.
And so I walked all the way down to Small World, and I just kind of sat there for a little bit and looked at the lights and whatnot, and just kind of took that in. And then I went back to the hotel, and I went to sleep, woke up, took my time. I think I left my hotel room probably 10:45, 11, because I didn't have park tickets, and my flight didn't leave until 2:30. And so I walked back to downtown, did a little bit more like shopping for the nieces for Christmas, and then ended up at Tortilla Joe's. I was going to go to Trader Sam's again, but I was like, I'll go to Tortilla Joe's. And I sat at the bar at Tortilla Joe's, had 4 margaritas, chip salsa, and guac, and then went back to the hotel. I had the Uber pick me up from downtown Disney, had them stop at the hotel, and then I went to the airport. And so it was a super quick trip. It was just nice to kind of get the vibe. Was it worth $260? Yes, I would do it. Which leads me to, I think I'm going to try to make this like a once a month thing for me, just to go by myself for a day.
Then you might get the annual pass, the Magic Key.
It's possible, but probably not.
Okay.
So,
It would make sense.
I mean,
that.
Huh?
It would make sense financially to get the Magic Key.
Hi. Say hi to Jules.
Oh, hey, Jules.
It would make sense, but I don't know. But I mean, it was a good time. It was well worth it. And then when I got to the airport, I went to the Anaheim Ducks bar right there, in Orange County, in the restaurant.
Oh, yep, I've seen that.
And I had a glass of wine, and I sat next to this random guy, and I started talking to him. I'm like, so where you from? Where you going? And he said he's from Vegas. He was going home. And he's like, oh, what do you do? And I was telling him, I am a special education teacher. And then I said, I'm a waitress. And he goes, well, where do you waitress? And I said, Catherine's Beer Garden. And he goes, I've been there. This random dude from Vegas. He's like, the German place. I've been there. And he's like, we go there, he's like, we're going to be there this weekend or something. And then he ended up buying my glass of wine because he said teachers don't make enough money.
Oh.
Which was nice. But it was funny that like this random person, like, yeah, he's like, I've been to your restaurant. I'm like, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But no, the trip was good. I spent a lot of money. And gifts. I got your magnet, Mark.
Oh, awesome. Let me know what I owe you for that.
Nothing. You're good.
What?
Yeah. What up?
What
Yeah,
up?
That AP discount.
Oh, did it work?
No.
Did you steal it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Every time I would buy something, they were like, "Oh, do you have any discounts?" And I was like, "Not with the new pass, I don't." I was kind of snarky to him because I'm like, "I'm not giving you my money."
Yeah. Right.
But no, it was a good time. Oh, I did try to watch I tried to watch the Spider-Man show,
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
it's awesome.
I know you like it.
It's just, to me, just because I've been following it since it started. Like watching them build that robot and watching these videos, and just to see it all come, to fruition is really cool. But it was too windy. So he did the whole stunt thing, and then he runs off to do, the flight, and then she comes back on and she's like, Spider-Man, wind calculations are unsafe, blah, blah, blah. And then he pops out on the other side. So, and then they didn't do fireworks that night because of the wind.
Jeez.
So, I mean, it was kind of upsetting, but at that point I'd given up on fireworks because I knew, because it was too windy. So that's why I just ran and got in line for Mansion.
Okay.
So, yeah, but yeah, it was just a short and sweet trip, but it was worth it.
Awesome.
Good.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Now I know what to look forward to when possibly go later this month
Oh,
on like a single day ticket. So
well, maybe you can.
Yeah, I mean,
sync it with Udi.
Yeah,
I rode Jungle Cruise. Sorry.
Wait, what?
I rode Jungle Cruise,
Oh,
too.
you have to.
And?
Well, I've already wrote it, and you saw
Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah, we talked about that.
All right. Fernando, you're up with your trip to Aulani.
I went to Aulani and then I came back.
I have to go night-night.
Okay.
But thank you, Fernando. It was awesome.
Thank you. Okay, so you owe me something, though. Jules was on the show. It was a while back, right? But he was making drinks for the show. Okay, so I need a Disney-inspired whiskey drink, some kind of recipe.
Okay.
I'm sure he can do that.
I'll put him to work right now. I'm the one that called you. I'll send you all.
Nice. I appreciate it.
Of course. So, all right, you guys have a good night.
All right. Bye.
Now we can talk trash.
Came back. The end.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Great.
You're
trip.
welcome.
Cool.
We're on this Joe Rogan Experience length podcast episode here. So for everyone who stuck with us, I appreciate.
Yeah, we really are. I think, Mark and I were talking about it on the ride today, and we're like, what are we going to do? Because we have so much to cover. I'm like, okay, we took like a week off.
We did. We missed her.
And then we're like, we're going to go my recommendation, let's go freaking ham and just make here is like a super extended episode. It's going to be like an 8-hour thing. Enjoy it at your leisure. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, no, I agree, especially because you get the game changer herself who, she's busy, not always able to get her in. So it was nice having her on. So, yeah, I can do a trip recap. I also have a little bit of additional info like prices and stuff as far as, because Hawaii it's expensive. It can be a once in a lifetime type thing. So if someone is listening and they want to make that trip and they're thinking about going and, weighing their options, I wanted to let them know this is what I paid. This is kind of what you can expect to pay. This is also what I did, so that someone who's going has that full complement of just all the information available to them. Because it's a great trip. Don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna hold nothing back. So, like I said, I don't mind sharing what I paid for different experiences, different things, just because it helps give people that additional kind of, like that background on like, okay, well, if we go, it's more than just the hotel room and the flight. Like these are other things that we'd have to consider, if we're going to go. So, do you have any questions right off the bat before we get started here?
No.
No, not really. Was this something you guys had planned for a while, or?
Yeah, so it's something that we had planned. We'd been planning just different trips, and not pulling the trigger.
Okay.
One thing I had been doing is planning trips to New York to go watch the Padres play, and they were once against the Yankees and a couple times against the Mets, right? And I was looking at the games that we were playing, and they were weekend series. And I was looking at it, looking at the cost. I'm like, okay, this is when I'm going to go. This is the game I would go to, and the rest of the weekend would just be, exploring New York with kids. Every single time that I didn't pull the trigger, the game I was going to go to would be like the one game that my team won.
Oh, jeez.
That weekend. And then like the rest of the weekend just didn't go. So it was just like, and then afterwards, it's because it was like one of those things where like you don't want to spend the money, you are kind of on the fence, and then so you don't go. And then by the time, the year is over, whatever, like you ended up spending that money on who knows what, and you missed out on an opportunity to do something kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, Hawaii, Aulani, it's something that we talked about and kind of been wanting to do. But again, just like, do we pull the trigger? Do we not? And I know with COVID and all this stuff going on, it's like, do we want to do it? So we had planned the trip, and I just finally said, like, you know what, let's do it. Like, we've had these other trips that we haven't taken. We haven't pulled the trigger when we should have. And life is short. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. You're not guaranteed anything.
Mm-hmm. And
you're going to, sit around wishing that you had done these things that you had the chance to do and you didn't do so. So we started looking at, when are we going to book the trip? So my kids are in school. They have summer vacation off, and we were looking at June. But also I had looked at the off season for Aulani, which is, or Hawaii just in general. It's end of September till like October, and then again in December. And the more I looked and the more I looked into it, the off season made more sense. Because one, the weather was still phenomenal. Everything was saying it was in the 80s, especially on the side of the island that Aulani was on. The rooms were cheaper. Disney runs all kinds of promotions during the off season to entice people to go in.
Mm-hmm.
And then less people. And then also, with COVID and all the different uncertainties, I had told my wife, like, you know what, hey, let's shoot for the off season. Let's shoot for October, because we might have less restrictions, a little easier time of going versus going in the summer. So we were looking in February, March is when we started discussing. June, July was the original kind of thought process, but then we kind of put it off to the October season. And then, lo and behold, Aulani had a special of 30% off rooms end of September, beginning of October. And then you got a $150 or $200 resort credit when you booked. So it was at that point, it was a no-brainer, because we're spending less money. We said it was going to be less packed, and we're like, okay, let's book it, let's do it. And the kind of funny thing was, we booked it. We're just talking about it to everyone, because I was just telling anyone and everyone, like, hey, we're going to Aulani. If you want to try to come, come. My younger sister, her and her boyfriend, they're both in their early 20s. He's 20, she's 21. They have a 1-year-old daughter, and she looked at it and she's like, wow, like, I can afford this. And it's like, yeah. And it was like, if you want to go, just go. Like, you have to obviously pay for your flight and room, but like, I was already going to rent a car, for example. I told her, I'll pay for the upgrade of the car to get a bigger car. It's like, just let me know if you want to go. And it's just one of those things. She's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to book it. So we booked it.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't look back. We're like, you know what? We got to do it. So as, things kind of started to happen, and, you're getting all the back and forth with COVID restrictions and travel and whatnot. Like, you know what? We just have to go through with it. We didn't get insurance on the trip. Didn't want to cancel it unless we were sick and couldn't go. It was just at that point where, like, we have to just go. So I guess before I go into it any further, this is my COVID kind of, not necessarily a PSA, but just so you know, just so you're aware, if you're going to travel to Hawaii, you need to either be vaccinated or have a negative test 48 hours prior to leaving. Mm-hmm. And the best place to go is it's Safe Travels Hawaii. I think it's safetravelshawaii.gov, but if you just Google Safe Travels Hawaii, it'll pop up. And on the site, it'll tell you basically if you're over the age of 12, I believe you need to be either vaccinated or have a negative test. And then if you're under the age of 12, you need to have a negative test. You need to go onto this site and upload your information so that you can get on to the island. And again, I'm not saying like pro, con on vaccination test, whatever. It's so anyone who's going knows. As of right now, these are the requirements. So if you are looking to go and it's still, this ongoing craziness that we have, just to make sure that you are aware that you need to upload your information to this site before you fly, just to make things easier for yourself. So if you're vaccinated, you don't need to have the vaccination and a negative test. If you're unvaccinated, you need to have the negative test. And again, I'm only bringing this up because I've seen people ask this question, like, do I need both? It's like, no, you need either or. And then when you travel to the island, you need to have your vaccination card or a copy of your test so that you can get into different places. Again, this isn't speaking for doing one or the other. It's just so for anyone who goes, you know that you need to have this with you and then hopefully cut down on the headaches. And, if it's something where it's just too much and you'd rather just wait until everything kind of dies down, then cool. But if you decide to go and there's all this still going on, just know that you need to go to that site, create a profile, put all that information on there. And then I would suggest getting to your airport early and then basically providing your either vaccination card or negative test, and you get a wristband so that when you land on the island, you are good to go. Otherwise, when you land, you have to get that wristband to get off and be good to go. I'm just trying to cut down on the headaches for anyone who decides to travel or is already traveling anyways, and is a little unsure of some of the the craziness and the finer points of what's going on.
Yeah. Why I won't be going to Hawaii for a while. But anyway, yeah.
But anyways, right?
Yeah.
So our trip was a short trip. It was about 5 nights. I would have done longer if my wife would have had more time off. We left September 30th and we came back October, it was the 4th or 5th. It was a Thursday through a Tuesday trip. So would have done longer. She didn't have the time off that I did. So in retrospect, I should have stayed longer and just sent her home.
There you go.
Yeah. Like, I will be here. You take the kids with you.
Exactly. Right. So we flew on a Thursday. It was an early flight. Our flight outside of Ontario, it was about a 6-hour flight. And then we landed in Honolulu at about noon. So for those who are a little unsure or don't know, there's different Hawaiian islands where Aulani is on the island of Oahu, which is one of the many different Hawaiian islands. It's got the world famous Waikiki Beach, and also Honolulu, which is like the bigger kind of city. It's a little bit heavier populated from what I've seen versus like some of the other islands. But that's where you're flying to, Honolulu. So it was about by the time we took off and landed, it was about a 6-hour flight, and then a 3-hour difference, time difference from Hawaii to California. So we landed at almost noon Hawaiian time on Thursday. So my initial plan was I wanted to go to Leonard's Bakery, which is a famous spot that sells malasadas, which is they're basically just donuts, stuffed donuts, donut holes almost like, but turned to 11. just deliciousness. I wanted to get some Leonard's and then go to Pearl Harbor, and I wanted to do the USS Arizona Memorial.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
So for those who have not done it, just you go onto the U.S. Park Service site, and it's $1, to do the Arizona. You can reserve and then pay, I believe, when you're there. But when we were leaving that week, they had stopped the Arizona tours. So at that point, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do any of the Pearl Harbor museums and stuff with the kids, because they were just knew they weren't going to be good. And it's a somber sight, right?
It is.
It's a big thing. So I wanted to at least go walk around, like I said, pay my respects. Would have done the Arizona, but they stopped it. So the plan was to get the Leonards, get the Malasadas, and then go to Pearl Harbor. But when we got there, the babies were just being horrible. I have my 1-year-old daughter, Aulani, and then my sister took her 1-year-old, Aaliyah. And obviously, after 6 hours on a flight, anyone's going to be cranky, especially if you're a baby. You can't really talk, and you're angry. So, I was the one that really wanted to do Pearl Harbor. I'd gotten my kids kind of involved into it, Luke and Marissa, especially Marissa. She's a daddy's girl, and I'm huge into history. And we had to watch Pearl Harbor videos prior to going, just to kind of give them a little bit of the background and some understanding of this is why we're going here, and this is why we have to kind of be quiet when we're there, and just kind of we're not really, we're gonna party and be loud, but like for at least a few minutes we're gonna be quiet, right? When we're in Hawaii. And with the babies just being bad, it was like I'll just drive by Pearl Harbor, at least get to look and see it, and then we'll go to Leonard's. So we went to Leonard's. If you Google it, YouTube it, whatever, it's delicious.
Okay.
Luke wants to move to Hawaii just for the malasadas. They have all kinds of different fillings, and we got like a 12-pack of just different fillings. That was like the first thing we ate off the plane, and it's a powdery, sugary, just sweet goodness of it's just deliciousness, right? Just great. So after we got our malasadas, we're like, okay, you know what? Let's just drive to the resort. I rented a car. So at the time when we were going on our trip, car rentals were getting a little crazy, and people weren't able to rent cars. Like it was the inventory just wasn't there, and people were going and just renting out everything. So prices were crazy. I rented mine through Costco, which was a huge help. We had a huge group, so it was me, my wife Stephanie, and then our 3 kids, Marissa, Luke, and Alana, then my sister Brianna, her boyfriend Roman, and their baby Aaliyah. So I had to upgrade to like a bigger car, so I ended up getting like an 8-passenger SUV. They ended up giving us a Ford Expedition, but it was more expensive than what we had initially planned for. So just a heads up, if you're looking at renting a car and you're going to Aulani, look at the rates for the different car rental places. Like Aulani has a car rental place within the resort. I think they have Alamo. That's I think who we ended up renting from, but just at the airport location. But look at the dates that you can pick up and drop off, because for us it made more sense, even if we weren't going to use the car every day, to just rent for the entire time we were there, because the rates were a little bit crazy and the pickup and drop off times were kind of dumb. So we couldn't pick, like initially we were looking at renting a car only for the days that we were going to drive, but then that wasn't available. So we ended up renting for the whole week. So when you're going from the airport to Aulani, you have different options to get there. You can rent a car. They have different shuttle services. They have I think it's Hile Hile or Hile Hile shuttle. It's about $35 per person. That takes you from the airport to Aulani and then also back. I've also seen like limo services for about $100, $150, depending on like the size of your party, or you can do what we did and just rent the car. So you just want to look into what makes most sense for you, because initially what I was looking at was doing the shuttle and then renting the car once we were at Aulani, but because of the different dates and drop-offs and just the kind of like dumb things, I ended up just renting it the whole week through. So for a Ford Expedition, brand new giant bus of a freaking vehicle, it was $1,098 for about 5 days.
Holy
so
crap!
Wow.
It was expensive. It was a little bit pricey, but smaller cars, if you have a smaller family, not as expensive. If you're doing the shuttle,
Wow.
Yeah, and that was through Costco, which got us, some kind of like a little bit of a discount and stuff. And we were lucky we were able to secure the vehicle because, like, I was reading all kinds of stuff online, and people going around the same time and a little bit after us were scrambling trying to find a vehicle, especially one for that size. So we booked that one like right away. After we booked the trip in like March, I booked the car and paid for it. Part of what helped also was for the room. You only give a deposit, and then you pay the rest once you're there. So if you're booking it in advance and stuff, and you have the money for the deposit, and you're going to save the money for the rest of the trip, you don't have to have it all up front, which is, it's a big thing, especially because I know, like I said, Disney is expensive, Hawaii is expensive, the whole thing is expensive, but it can be worth it. So, all that about just transportation, right? So once we got to Aulani, driving this freaking bus of a vehicle, we had watched all kinds of YouTube videos on just Hawaii in general, on the resort, just try to get an idea of like what's around there to do, what's around to eat, what's there to do in the resort, what is, how does the layout look? And I honestly thought, like, dang it, I did overkill. I did way too much on this stupid watching of all the videos, because I'm going to get there and I'm not going to like anything because I've already seen it all. After I parked the car, actually I didn't park, did valet. So parking is another thing. It's another expense. It's $28 to park at South Park, or it's $35 to valet.
Wow.
Because of the size of the vehicle and just how huge it was, especially at like the first time getting there, we just did the valet just because it was easier to valet it, have them park it, and then just get our bags off and whatever, and like not have to transport it and deal with all these crying kids. It was just easier. So we valet the car, but I walk in, and my first reaction to seeing the resort was, holy F word, this is effing stupid. It was beautiful.
Wow.
I had seen it so many times on videos where I thought I was going to be numb to it. I'm like, whatever. It's like I killed it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
No, when I walked in, and if you've ever seen like videos of the resort when you walk in and you can see it's this kind of big like hallway, and then you see the outside with the the rock formation and just the sky, and just it was beautiful. Like, I'm just looking at it like, I can't believe this is how it really looks. Like, I feel stupid for even doubting how pretty it looks. If you've ever been to the Grand Californian and you look around and it's California, right? Mm-hmm. Without being like cliche or offensive. That's kind of how I felt about Aulani. It was Hawaiian. It was beautiful, and it was not cliche and hopefully not offensive. Like, again, not Hawaiian. I know that they have a lot of culture and a lot of history, and maybe I'm wrong, but to me, from just judging it based on the Grand Californian and how that looks, it felt like it was a nice homage to that culture without being, over the top. Mm-hmm. You walk into the Grand Californian and yeah, it does feel like California, and it's a beautiful place. Same thing with Aulani. Like I just walked in, I was like, just a beautiful, beautiful place, and I haven't even checked in yet. I'm looking outside. Nice. So we checked in, and then we got to our rooms. Some minor issues with the rooms. Well, at least with our room, some of the fixtures were a little bit dated. We had some issues with like the shower, where the hot water wasn't quite, staying on like the way it should. Like you're turning the little knob and it's turning back the opposite way. And then some of like the light switches were a little bit broken, and the AC in our room didn't quite work. And I was like, you're paying so much for a room and you expect like those things to work. Like I'm not a snob at all. I'm not a hotel snob. It's like I at least expect when I turn my knob on my hot water for it not to go back down, like just stay where I put you. But there was some nice touches in the room. When you check in on the TV, it has your last name, and it says like the Sandoval Ohana, which is kind of cute. Mm-hmm. We did the basic room, but we paid a little bit more for the it was the partial ocean view. You don't have to pay more, honestly. Like there's different rooms, there's different room types. For us, we were going to be in and out. The standard room, we just got the standard room, which is a slightly better, not even a better view, because you got partial ocean, but it was mainly the parking lot. You can at least see the ocean from where we were.
Yeah.
But your standard room is going to come with a mini fridge and a coffee maker. You're not going to have a microwave. You're not going to have like a toaster or anything like that. You're just going to have, those are your two main amenities are the fridge and the coffee maker. So we did stop at Target before checking in our room. We bought some alcohol just to put in the mini fridge and some water bottles, some cereal and milk, things of that nature. So it was pretty. The room itself was okay. Nothing too crazy. It was the initial view though of walking in and just seeing how pretty everything was. So check-in is at 3 p.m. So our plan for that day was to check in and then just change and swim. So we actually got there a little bit early, but they did let us check in early, and we started just swimming. We went straight to the pool or pools, and then the only thing we had planned for that day was we had a stargazing activity plan. So they do offer a stargazing, and the way that the website describes it is, they have a local expert talk about the stars and how the early natives use the stars to navigate. I would say that the stargazing, it was cool. We did it because it was Marissa is huge into NASA and space and stars and stuff, so we did it for her. She was whatever about it once we'd started it, but Luke loved it. Luke was just head over heels in love with like everything, and afterwards, like, can we do it again tomorrow? It's like, no, buddy. That was like a couple $100. We're not gonna do it again. Jeez. So the stargazing, I got the prices up. Just give me 1 second. I'll tell you how much it was. Okay, it was $45 for an adult and $25 for the kids. So $90 for me and my wife, plus $50 for Marissa and Luke, which is about $140. When we booked it, I paid for my sisters and I just told her to just pay me back. And it was about a 45 minute little thing. And it was cool. It was not quite what the description said. It was more of you're looking through a telescope and you are looking at the stars and looking into space. And the gentleman who gave the presentation was very knowledgeable. But it had less to do with how they navigated, back in the day using the stars, although that was part of it. And it was more of just like a straight up just, science. These are the kinds of stars you're looking at. This is this type of planet. This is this kind of system. This is how long this star lives. It's dying, etc. It was cool. Don't get me wrong. It's one of those things where unless you're like really into stars and space and all that, like I would say you can skip it. You don't have to pay the extra to do it. For all these excursions, though, again, another thing I should have touched on, you want to book it in advance. So if you do decide to go and, hey, these are the days I'm going to go, and these are the days I'm going to look at, you want to book some of these excursions in advance because they do sell out or they do book up real quick. Once you've decided to go, kind of then start planning and booking at least certain things in advance. And then if you want to give yourself time in between to do some exploring or whatever, you do that. But some of the things are, like I said, they book up real quick. So as soon as you can book it and you decide that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do it. So that was our first night. Like I said, we swam for a bit and then we got ready for the stargazing. One of the things that Aulani has is story time with Uncle. It's like a fire pit story. We watched a bit of it while we were waiting for our return to do the stargazing, because there was 2 stargazings, one at 8 and one at 8:45. We were dead by the time ours came along, and we were just ready to go to sleep. But we signed up for it. We paid for it, so we stayed up, and it actually, again, it kind of helped with the jet lag a little bit because we forced ourselves to stay up when we really just wanted to crash. So it was pretty cool. And then, like I said, we got to watch some of the storytelling, which was pretty cool. It's a little bit different now because of COVID. Back before COVID, it was just around a fire pit, which we were sitting at, and there's kind of first come first serve seating. You're right next to the dude telling the story, and it's pretty cool. The way that it is now, it's the same story, and he's still around a fire, but now he's kind of on a stage and away from where everyone's at. So just something kind of cool. So that was our night, right? We do the stargazing, we go to sleep. The next day was Friday, was the first, and on our itinerary, we had the North Shore and the shrimp trucks. And we're like, okay, let's go eat some shrimp. When we left, Aulani, our valet, he asked what time we were planning on coming back, and we told him like, not too late. He's like, if you're out past 3 p.m., he's like, just stay where you're at because the traffic's going to be really bad, and you're not going to want to come back. So we had less time than I wanted to. We had about 5 days. If I could have done it fully, I would have done about 10.
Wow.
And what I would have done was on some of those days is just, if you're going to go explore, just stay out in that area for the full day and then come back late at night. Like, you don't want to go and then come back halfway through because you're going to spend an hour to 2 hours in traffic that you don't want to do. So actually that day, our plans were a little bit fluid. We were originally planning to go to the Dole plantation and then to the shrimp truck and doing some stuff on the North Shore and then coming back. Well, by the time we got out, we slept in a little bit more than we anticipated. We changed plans and we're like, what, let's just go to the shrimp truck first. So we went to Giovanni's Shrimp Truck, which if you Google or look up shrimp trucks in Hawaii, it's probably the most famous. Some people will say it's a little overrated. There's other shrimp trucks that are, better. But for us, we're like, it's like going to France and not seeing the Eiffel Tower. People are like, hey, you might want to see this. It's a little bit better, but it's like, bro, you're in France and you didn't see the Eiffel Tower. Like, you have to at least see the most iconic thing first, right? I mean, you can't skip it. You can't be a total travel hipster and be like, no, I'm going to skip that and not see it. You have to see those things that everyone says, that are a must see. So it's like skipping Disneyland to go to Knott's Berry Farm.
Right.
Someone might tell you that hey, Disneyland's a little bit overrated and it's expensive and you're better off going to Knott's. If you tell your friends you went to California, you went to Anaheim, and you didn't go to Disneyland and you went to Knott's instead, they're going to slap you. Like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? So for us, it was one of those things where, like, yeah, there might be other places better and we'll check them out if we get a chance to, but we have to at least see for ourselves. So we went to where Giovanni's was at 10. We got there right when they opened. It was cash parking, so that's another thing for Hawaii. You do want to bring cash because a lot of stuff is cash only. So whether you're parking or eating somewhere, if it's cash only, you want to make sure that you have some cash on you so that you don't have to worry about looking for where the next ATM is or not being able to do something because you don't have the cash on you. So we parked, we cut in line right away, we got our food right away, and not kidding you, as soon as we got our food, almost like as soon as they opened, that place had a line out the door that was about an hour long. So we got there like right at the right time.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It was crazy. So I don't know if Mark, Udi, if you guys are shrimp people or not.
I'm not.
Not particularly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind shellfish. I would probably. Is it just fresh cooked shrimp? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, it's cooked. So they had a spicy one. They had like a shrimp scampi, which was like garlic shrimp and rice, and it was good. It was.
I think I'd have to look at the menu.
Yeah.
It was pretty juicy, but it was just one of those things where, like, if you like shrimp and you want it. It's an iconic spot, so if you want to get there early. Just do it, and then get out of there. So we ate there. We ate at a couple other places. Within that same spot, there's a bunch of little like food truck kind of places, right, where they have different food, different fruits and whatnot. We got some stuff. We all ate, and then we're like, okay, let's go down to. A little bit down the North Shore. So Hawaii has shave ice, which is really big down there.
Yep, absolutely.
And we went to Matsumoto's, which is one of the famous, again, big touristy places. But again, it's like you're in this spot, you have to at least try it once versus skipping it completely to go to like the hipster spot or the smaller spot. Like, you have to go to the big spots. So we went to the Matsumoto's. It was amazing. I don't even know how to describe, like, it didn't even make sense how this shave ice tasted the way that it did. It's super soft. The syrups they use are really good. And then we got condensed milk on the one that me and my wife shared. The kids got just the syrup on there. It's because they're weird. Kids are dumb. But it was really good. And it was fresh. It was amazing. One of those things, like I said, we have seen it a million times on like a YouTube video or online, but being there and trying it and, having those flavors and experiencing it for yourself it was something that, I'll never forget. And, if we are fortunate enough to go to Hawaii again, we'll maybe check out like a smaller place or somewhere else. It's a little bit more locally recommended, but at least for the first time going, like, you have to kind of try out those institutional places because you don't know if you're going to get a chance to go again, and you don't want to regret not going just because you're trying to be a travel hipster. So after that, we did a little bit more exploring on the North Shore, and then we drove back to Aulani, and then just did the whole swimming, inner tubing thing. going down the slides. So Aulani has 2 water slides.
Mm-hmm.
One is a inner tube slide where you can do 1 person or 2 people on the inner tube, and then the other one's like a dark tube slide, which is just 1 person at a time. They have multiple pools and then a lazy river. And there used to be an adults only pool, but right now because of COVID, it's opened up to a family. So there is an adults only jacuzzi, which again is amazing because we did go there for a bit and just dump the kids off with my sister and just like, you know what, let's just go soak and get in this jacuzzi and overlook, you know, everything. And yeah, it was great. So the rest of that day was just spent at the resort, just swimming, floating. You know, kids are doing whatever they want to. They're making all kinds of friends. We're drinking and eating. And that kind of brings me to the next point. The chairs for the pool. Some people go there to the bottom of the pool, and you can get there, I think, 2 hours before the pool opens and try to secure a chair.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to do all that, honestly. Unless it's like super crowded, then go ahead and by all means go and claim a chair.
Yeah.
But we usually went like an hour to 2 hours after the pool opened, and every single time we went down, we were able to find chairs and something with shade. Aulani also has people going around and taking your order for drinks or different food.
Nice.
You don't have to do that. They have different little bars that you can go to and either order some food or order some drinks. And that's what we did. We would go to the little bars and order something. I don't know why, but the chicken tenders there at Aulani were amazing.
Oh, I do like dumb. Those. Yeah.
I do like chicken tenders and fries. And then one of the bars has they had like a sweet chili sauce.
Oh,
that was really, really good. You know, which is like we would order a couple of orders for the kids, and then when they didn't finish it, it's like, okay, well, I'm dipping your chicken tender into chili sauce, and you can go play with your friends because I'm eating this. The food there at the different little bars was about like $10 to $15 per entree, and the drinks again, same thing, about $10 to $15 per drink. If you're ordering a drink there, you're probably better off ordering one of the mixed drinks. It's a little bit stronger than just a beer, around the same price, but you're getting more bang for your buck at that point. On that Saturday, we went to the Kualoa Ranch, which is a ranch / movie, you know, like production shooting site, where they shot Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they did that, the scene in Jurassic Park with the T-Rex eating those, they almost look like turkeys or, what is it, like an ostrich?
Okay.
You know, where they're hiding behind the log, where it's Dr. Grant and the kids are hiding behind the log, and they're watching the T-Rex eat.
Yeah, as they're stampeding down, yeah.
Yeah, so they filmed that scene there. They filmed a part of like Kong, Skull Island there. Some of the Jurassic World movie was filmed there. It's a really cool place. So we booked an excursion for there. They have all kinds of trips you can do. For us, with 2 babies, the only one we could do was a bus tour, which is basically it's an open air school bus. And we did the earliest check-in, which was a 10 a.m. tour. We had to check in by 9:15. But they have all kinds of other tours. They have horseback tours. They have ATV tours. They have zipline tours. And they filmed all kinds of different things there, you know, from like big blockbusters to just small little things. But if you've ever seen anything filmed in Hawaii, it's a good chance that it's been filmed on the ranch. I think Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, part of it was filmed there, and I think that they were saying that The Rock even interrupted a couple tours to go on and interact with some of the people, because that's just what he does. we're not friends or anything. It's just what I've heard.
Yeah.
But no, that ranch, that place is definitely something that I would recommend going to seeing. It's on like the opposite side of the island from Aulani, but it is really, really beautiful. It gets a little bit of rain, so it's really lush, really tropical. And, you know, if you're a movie buff like I am, it's kind of cool just to see where some of those scenes were filmed and recognizing some of the stuff. You know, some of the productions that have filmed it that they bring up were like small time productions, but it's still like, hey, I've seen that movie. Like, I remember doing that. So it's pretty cool. When we went, like I said, we did just the one tour on the bus because we had babies and that's all we could do. But there wasn't like an older couple that was with us, and they did the tour, and then they had a break for lunch, and then they were going to do the ATV tour afterwards. So the bus tour, it's the most informative because it's slow moving and you stop at like every single stop. And, you know, the bus driver is telling you, this is what was filmed here. This is this. You have, you know, X amount of minutes to get out and take pictures and stuff. And it was pretty cool. The other tours were kind of like a little bit less of that, but, you know, they get your adrenaline going because you're on an ATV or you're on a zip line or you're on a freaking horse. Like, so I would recommend if someone's going out that way and you can do it, to do the bus tour first, so you get all the information, everything behind it, and then do one of the cooler tours afterwards, whether it's the ATV or the zip line, whatever, just to get a little bit more experience on the ranch, see a little bit more. You're not going to get the same background and the same information that you would on the bus tour, but you're going to see it from a different angle and get all kinds of other stuff. So that was, I mean, that was my favorite, one of my favorite things. We paid, because I paid for my sisters too and just had to reimburse me, but for the 6 of us, the babies don't count. It was $282.42. So not too bad.
Yeah.
But again, something that I would definitely recommend everyone to do, even if it's just the one bus tour, just to get some pictures. And I'll send you guys some of the pictures. I posted them on my Instagram, but it's really cool to like see something like, oh yeah, that's the stupid log from
Jurassic Park.
From Jurassic Park,
yeah.
Or that's where this is. Or like now that I've seen other shows filmed in Hawaii, I'm like, hey, I recognize that. Like they're filming it at that ranch. Like, you know, it's and then even if it's not filmed there, it's really it's beautiful. And there's all kinds of different things that are just I don't know how to describe it. It's really, really, really cool, and I would definitely recommend anyone going there. So that was Saturday. So we booked that right for 10 a.m. But we also we booked the luau at Aulani later that day for it was at 5:40. There are all kinds of luau's on Hawaii. You know, it's a big part of the tourism there, and like how they kind of go to showcase their, you know, parts of their culture. So understanding that, you know, Disney sometimes does things Disneyfied, right? It's not going to be 100% authentic.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's bad. You know, I'm you know, born here in the U.S., but my parents born and raised in Mexico, and then, you know, came to the U.S. California Adventure and Disney, they've done some things that have been, but they have been like, you know, Mexican in tradition, like the Coco, Dia de Muertos type thing.
Yeah.
And it's been really well done. Like at no point have I looked at it and been like, oh my God, that's offensive, or I put my hands in my face like, oh my God, like, is that really what I sound like? Like, no, they've done a good job of telling a story the Disney way, but also having that respect and having that perspective of that other culture and not having it, go sideways. So I can't speak for Hawaiian culture because I'm not Hawaiian, but that's kind of the impression that I got.
Okay.
And kind of how I looked at it as, yeah, it's Disneyfied, but I don't think it was like off or completely wrong. Like just speaking from how they've dealt with things from other cultures, like Disney is in the business of telling stories, and they do a really good job of that. So the Aulani luau was something that we had booked. It's something, if you're going, I would look at when the soonest you can book is and book it right away. And that's what we did. It was only available that Saturday. We booked it ASAP, and glad we did. They have a couple of options that you can do. You can do like a VIP. You can pay for a quicker check-in. We didn't do that just because when I had looked at like videos previously, they had like different stations set up where you could do different things, and it made a little bit more sense to have like a sooner check-in. But because of COVID and you were basically doing everything at your table, it didn't make sense to pay more for an earlier check-in because you weren't really getting much more, out of it. So we didn't do it as far as the VIP extra thing. We just waited in line. We did our thing. When you get to the front of the line, they have a couple of other performers in the background. They have a dude and chick in the background. Both of them just, putting you to shame with how good in shape they are, right? It's like, It's like, bro, I'm going to do laundry later, but can you put the abs away? Like, come on, don't need to see that right now. But no, it was pretty cool. The only thing is the picture, it's not included with your luau.
Wow.
It is a $20 or $25. You're paying for the print basically. We ended up getting it because we're suckers. The luau itself is about $120 for an adult, so it is an expensive endeavor. Yeah, but one thing I did like, COVID hasn't been all negative. There's been certain things that come out of it that are kind of good. This used to be a buffet, but because of COVID, instead of it being a buffet, it was table service. So they brought you out like a box with the different luau food, and it was all you can eat, and then all you can drink also.
Oh, like family style sort of thing.
Yeah,
gotcha.
And that included alcoholic drinks too. So you get a welcome luau drink, but then also while you're there, it's all you can eat and all you can drink drinks. So it was pretty cool. The only like minor gripe that I have is I wish they would have told us when they were doing like a last call for the food, because Alana, the baby, she had fallen asleep, and I was going to get her some chicken tenders and fries just to eat when she woke up. Had I known that there was like a last call for it, or when the last call was, I would have just ordered it and had them bring it out. But they didn't tell us. So when I try to order some food for her, they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're not serving food anymore." It's like, well, a warning would have been nice.
Sure.
But the way that it was presented, the food was good. There's different kinds of things that you're going to try there that maybe aren't your traditional food, and you might not like it, but they do a good job of like accommodating. If you've tried it and you're not 100% sure, or you're not liking it, you can just ask for some chicken tenders and fries, and they'll bring it out to you.
Oh, cool. Very cool, yeah.
And then the same thing with like the all you can drink is you're on a resort, so if you want, as the kids say, turn up and have a good time, you can, because you're just going to walk to your room. You're not going to drive anywhere. There's other luau's, other locations, but you have to factor in either you're going to drive there and back.
Yeah.
How are you going to get there, especially if you weren't going to do a car rental or the cost for the Uber. I think it's worth doing the Disney one, especially because if it's your first time there and you've never done it, you might as well just do the Disney one. It's really well done. There was this absolute tank of a dude dancing and wearing a flower grass skirt that honestly I would never want to ever have to fight ever in my life, because after I got done crying, he would just beat the living crap out of me. Even my my sister's boyfriend, who's, you know, he's 20, he's a kid, he talks all kinds of crap. He looks at me, he's like, I would never say anything to that guy. He's like, he would just slap me and just walk on like nothing ever, like nothing ever happened. But I mean, the story was cool. The music was cool. You know, Mickey and Minnie came out for like a bit at the beginning, but it wasn't really Disney in that sense. It was more just, this is a version of, you know, a luau. You had the two narrators who were telling the story, but the songs, the dancing, the costumes, everything was like just top notch and just really well done. And you know, there might be other luau's out there that are better. And if you've done the Disney one already and you don't want to do it, okay, cool. But if it's your first time going or you're never going to go again, I would recommend doing the Aulani luau, because I can't say enough good things about it. And
right on.
if I don't, that huge Hawaiian dude is going to just come out of nowhere and just slap the crap out of me.
Like, you didn't give me my props. Bam!
You didn't. Yeah, exactly. So that was our Saturday. Sunday, we did the makahiki, the character breakfast. And this one I had some gripes with. So the luau I thought was good, not being in the buffet format. The breakfast I would have preferred in the buffet format. You know, that's why I asked Jess about the Goofy's Kitchen. Because this is basically Goofy's Kitchen, but in Hawaii.
Right.
And, you know, breakfast, it lends itself, I think, to being a buffet, even if you're not a buffet person.
Totally.
You know, it's just easy to go and just grab a bunch of different things, and, you know, you can kind of make everyone happy with breakfast. The quality doesn't have to be top notch. You know, I've done Goofy's Kitchen, and it's, you know, it's fine. It's whatever. You know, just grab some Mickey-shaped waffles or pancakes, some eggs, coffee, whatever, orange juice, and you know you're good to go. With this, because of COVID, the characters don't come out.
Yeah, so, that is a theme right now with anything COVID. Like, they're not going to come out.
So they don't come out. No, go ahead, Udi.
Yeah, no, they don't come out. Like, there are very strict boundaries between them and people.
Yeah. No, don't want to get that mouse to human COVID.
I know, right?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, I guess. Like, if I was sick and I got Mickey sick and it's $1 billion company and he dies, like, it's just all bad.
Yeah.
So for that, what they do is you go in, you take a picture in front of Mickey and Minnie. And again, it's on my Instagram, but I'll send it to you guys just so you can know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. They're on a stage behind you. You take a picture with them, and then you take a picture with Goofy and Pluto. They're cooking inside for you. Like, once it's your time to go to your table, they're again behind like ropes and whatever, and they're pretending to cook. But you're taking a picture in front of them. It's not the same as having them come out. We did it for the kids. You know, if it wasn't for the kids, we wouldn't have done it. And it was whatever. So, and again, for this picture, it's $25 for the pictures that you take, and then a print. So it's not horrible, because what we did was I paid $25 for the pictures of me and my family, and then my sister and her family, and then she just had to pay $10 extra for her print with Mickey and Minnie. And then all the digital pictures I was able to save and send to her, because all that's off of the Disneyland app.
Yeah. Okay.
So it wasn't horrible, but again, it was another extra cost. Our time there, we waited over an hour for our food.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy talk.
My sister got her food before us. When I booked it online, I wasn't able to book a table for all of us. So I had to book two separate groups, one for them and one for us. And Yeah, we waited forever for our food, and it's just the way it is right now. It's about like $45 a plate. You're not doing the all you can eat. It's you get your entree. It was okay. I got a loco moco, which I like local Hawaiian food.
Loco moco is good. Yeah.
For those who don't know, it's rice, gravy, hamburger patty,
and egg. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
And
do they have it at the Jungle Bird?
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Okay. A local tiki bar. They make it. Yeah.
It's nice. Loco moco. Okay, I gotta try that.
Or the crazy booger. If you
if you look at it, yeah.
But I mean, it was way too long of a wait. My sister and her boyfriend, and they got their food way before us. There was other people who sat down before us who were out before us, and we were just waiting for like a long time. We didn't order anything crazy. It was way too long to wait. Again, I'm not a snobby person. I'm not gonna raise a fuss or be like crazy or whatever. But it was a long time, and it kind of soured that experience a bit. But then kids had fun. They enjoyed the picture. We have the prints right now hanging up in the living room as part of like a Christmas kind of like decoration and stuff.
Right on.
Yeah. Alana likes looking at the picture of Mickey and Minnie, who she both calls Mimi. But it's one of those things where like, if they brought back the buffet, yeah, I'd do it again. If you're looking to go for the first time and it's not the buffet, if you don't have kids and they're not really huge on the characters, not really set on the characters, I would honestly skip it just because of the restrictions. You're not really getting the full interaction.
Yeah.
And then not having like the buffet.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the, I guess, perks of having like Goofy's. I mean, when we went to Goofy's, I mean, we went. How many times did we go up and get a plate of food? A few.
Well, yeah.
I think I ate like one meal. That was one day. Like I ate and I didn't eat till like 8 o'clock at night. We had like we ate a ton.
Yep.
Yeah, that wouldn't like I would feel kind of like what is the word, like cheated, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Like,
totally
hey,
cheated,
like what the heck? I paid basically $50 and I'm getting nothing.
No.
I'm getting one plate of food.
No thanks.
And not even that good of food. I mean, good food, but not $50 a plate kind of food.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't mind paying that amount of money if I'm getting the value for it.
Yeah.
So after that, we did do the Rainbow Reef, the snorkeling. So they have it's basically an aquarium that you're snorkeling in. If you've never been snorkeling, or you're like me, where you're with a couple young kids and you're not sure how they're going to do out in the ocean, it's a good kind of way of just trying it out. Let them swim and see some fish, and just have it be in a controlled environment. So it's $25 for an adult, $20 for a kid.
For how long?
And so it's for all day.
Oh, okay.
So it's from 9 to 3. You can pay, I think it was $35 to do it for the length of stay. And we didn't do it because we knew we weren't going to do it past that first day. If you're there for like an extended period of time, it makes sense to maybe pay for the length of stay, only because it gives you another option of something else to do while you're there. Like on a given day, like, hey, you know what? Everything's crowded. Let me go just jump in here and look at the fish. So you get in, they make you rinse off any deodorant or cologne or whatever, because you're going to be in there with the fish. So the water was super cold, right? And me and Luke walked in, and as soon as we walk in, he's freaking out. He's like, I can't do this. Like, can't breathe. I'm like, oh man, well, I just paid $20 for nothing. But as soon as like he kind of puts his face in and sees that there's nothing to freak out about.
Yeah, he calmed down.
Oh my God, he calmed down and he had a blast.
Yeah.
So we gotta upload like the video, because the kids have like the GoPro, but we were swimming there. We're just having a good time. It was me, Marissa, Steph, my wife, and Luke. And we're just swimming, having a good time looking at the fish, just enjoying it. Then they have a couple of little viewing areas where people can look at the fish from, like the aquarium side of it.
Yeah.
And my sister was there with her boyfriend and her baby and my daughter, Aulani. And we're trying to wave to Aulani and just say, like, hey, look, it's us. And she freaked out when she saw us with the masks on. She started crying and just running the opposite way. Yeah. But it was cool. Like, me and Luke were in there for about, 45 minutes-ish before he got cold. And like, okay, he was done. We walked out and we're like, okay, maybe we'll come back. Maybe we won't. We didn't end up going back just because of how the day went. Mm-hmm. But it was, like I said, it was cool. I would definitely recommend doing that if you've never been snorkeling or you have little ones who are on the fence about doing it. And, you get that experience without some of the fear because, they have lifeguards on duty. You're basically, like I said, just in an aquarium. Nothing too crazy, nothing too scary. And you do get to see some fish up close and just, it was really cool. So that one definitely worth doing. The length of stay thing, it's only if you're going to be there for a longer period of time, and you just kind of want that as like a backup. As a backup, something to do. After that, it was basically just down to like the pool. So I'll touch on the pools a little bit. They have a splash pad area for little kids. They have a height limit. You can't be over the height unless you're like a parent with your child. And it's a playground. It's just a splash pad. There's all kinds of little areas to get wet and for you to splash around. That's one spot where you can get wet, which is pretty cool. They have another splash area which is literally just for babies. All it is it's just like ankle deep water. It'll splash up, but it is just for babies. A lot of times that's where we would set up shop, put our towels up, and find something with an umbrella and just sit there, because it wasn't something that people were competing for. Right. It was a cool little spot. They have one hot tub that overlooks the lazy river, which is pretty cool. That one's all ages, so it's kind of first come first serve. Just gotta kind of get there or maneuver your body into there and get a little spot. There's another pool. It's an infinity pool that also has a hot tub next to it. All ages, but again, the infinity pool part is really cool. That one was really relaxed and mellow, and just everyone there was different ages, but no one was going too crazy. People weren't jumping in or splashing. There's an adults-only jacuzzi, which is like an infinity jacuzzi, which was pretty cool. There's a sign at the bottom that says, you got to be 18 or older to get past this spot. We went there for a little bit just to, get away from the kids, finish a drink and just kind of soak it all in and get a good look of like the lagoon and, just enjoy it. There's also like the main pool, which one of the slides, the dark tube slide, dumps you off into. That pool is like the rowdy pool, right? They've got all kinds of spots to like jump in. They have like a little like beach kind of walk-in area. There's kids jumping and splashing and just going all kinds of crazy. That's what you expect at that main pool, right? It's just everyone having a good time. And then the last kind of pool is it's a lazy river, and that's where the inner tube slide drops you off of. And it's a lazy river, it's a nice little, it's good length, something that you can just get an inner tube and just hop around and have a good time. And so that's just a real quick kind of overview of the pools. Are you guys able to hear me still?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So, let me see where I'm at real quick. Sorry, guys. I know this has been like a forever episode. So
we buckled in for that. Yeah.
We did, right? So I appreciate you guys staying with me. So character breakfast, and then we did the Rainbow Reef snorkeling, and then after that was just the pools. Just the pools, the different snacks. Like I said, most of the alcoholic drinks about $10 to $15. If you're gonna get a drink there, you're better off getting one of the mixed drinks versus getting a beer.
Right, yeah.
Just because you're going to get that kind of higher alcohol content, and also you're going to get something with a little bit different of a flavor. Might as well, since you're on vacation. They have people going, in and out of the different areas taking orders. There's 2 different bars that take food orders. There's also like a quick service kind of little area that you can go into, and they have everything from like canned beverages to like the popcorn and different meals and whatnot. So it's worth checking out. And then off property, we didn't go off too much other than the excursions we went to, but across the street there are a bunch of different options. There's an ABC market which has all kinds of different food. It's a little like grocery store kind of thing. So like, if you want something to eat or drink to take back to the room, it's cool. Disneyland, they had the canned beers, which were like $6 to $8, and they had Maui Brewing beers, and I tried one that I didn't like. It was like a blonde, and I tried another one that was kind of okay, but it was like $6 a beer. We went to that ABC market across the street. They had 6-packs, but you could take the individual beers off the 6-pack, and it was like $2 a beer.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to like try something different and get a little taste for some local breweries, it's something worth doing. Just going across the street, $2 and getting a couple beers or whatever. There's also a restaurant that you'll see that comes up a lot in different discussions or reviews. It's called Monkey Pod Kitchen. We went there one of the nights for dinner, and it was really good. Definitely worth checking out. We got all kinds of different things. We got like a barbecue pork pizza, and they had like free noodles for the baby, a bunch of just different appetizers like wings and all kinds of different stuff. It was really good. And, something that gave, because it's just a walk across the street. So if you're going to go across, it's worth doing. As far as on property, like I said, we did a lot of the chicken strips and fries, whatever, from the different places. But we also ate on property. The Olelo room, which is to the left of the Makihiki restaurant, is huge. Just an awesome place to go to. Great atmosphere. It's outdoor dining. The menu is really good, and they have live music. So that's what I really like. Like one of the nights that we were there, they had everyone going with Sweet Caroline, but it's like a Hawaiian version of it.
Oh yeah.
And then when we went there to eat, it was a gentleman and his nephew playing. It was a little bit more subdued, way more mellow music, but it was really cool. The ambiance was really cool. The food was great. I feel like, I know Udi from hearing last time you're now a poke connoisseur.
Yeah, kinda. Kinda.
Connoisseur, sure. Yeah.
So we got some of the poke, some sliders, a couple other like just little appetizers and stuff, but it was a really good place. So Makihiki, that's a place we went to for the breakfast. Everything I've seen says that place is better for dinner. But because of like the kids and especially the baby and her just being crazy, instead of booking that for dinner, we booked it just for the breakfast for the characters, and then we did the Olelo room, which is not really a room because it's outdoors. But the Olelo room was kind of like a hidden / unhidden gem within that resort. Just really, really well done. Place that I would suggest everyone to eat at. So, where are we at? Okay, so we did. That was actually that Sunday. We did the Olelo room after the snorkeling. We did the room. We ate. We had a good time. Then the next day was basically just swimming all day.
Good day.
At the pool.
Yeah.
We did do the paddleboard rental. So they have paddleboards and like other things you can rent. Paddleboard is $45 an hour. But we split it between me and my sister and her boyfriend and us. Yeah. And I went out first. I took one of the kids out. long story short, every adult rode it with a combination of the kids within that hour, and then that was it. We were good.
Oh, that's actually good.
Yeah. Not too bad.
So I know $45 an hour is a lot, but if you're going with a couple people or whatever, like, or even if you're going with just yourself, you're probably not going to want more than that hour. You're out into the little cove there in Aulani, which is it's a man-made cove, but it actually can still take you out to the ocean because just on the other end of some rocks. But you don't need to do more than an hour, really. And I would say it's worth it because you're gonna get everyone involved within that hour and get burnt out within that 1 hour of going. So
when I went to Catalina, we rented a ocean kayak, and it was like basically $35, I think, for an hour, or roughly, and we did, we went out and it was kind of quote unquote choppy. It wasn't that bad, they were like high wind, but we went out and we're done. We were out for 45, I think, just about an hour, and we were done. So I mean, as much as you can like that, it is an activity you're going to tap out pretty quick. Yeah.
So the 45 an hour, it's a daunting thing, but honestly, you're going to pay just the 45. If you're going with a couple families, you can split that between the two of you.
Yeah.
And honestly, everyone's going to do it once, get back in, and then you're going to give it to the kids to go and do their own thing and have fun. So a couple of other extra things that we did, we paid for you had to make your own Mickey ears.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And initially when my wife told me about it, I didn't realize what it was. I had seen some fake ears, and I thought that's what it was. I'm like, oh, it's free. So she's like, you want to do it? I'm like, yeah, it's fine, because it looked like they were felt fake ears.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't realize that they were actually the ears, right, within the park. It's just you're doing some Hawaiian stuff on it. So you can skip that.
Okay.
Especially because by the time we did it, it was they had it closed off, and it was basically just we bought the stuff to make our own ears at home, and as you can imagine, we have a bag sitting in our living room with all the ear stuff that we have not made yet. So we just have these bands with the different ears, and it's about $40. So basically it's a cost of ears within the park.
Yeah.
But you're going to do it yourself. So Disney's saving on the labor, right? Because so we're the labor. They also had a stamp your own T-shirt thing, which I did see that one cost money. I'm like, that's dumb. You're just stamping a T-shirt, and it was $35.
Oh, that's a lot of money for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't seem. That one didn't seem like it was really worth it to me. Disney at Aulani, they did have the pin trading, which is free every day until I think it was 4 p.m. You can trade one pin per day or whatever. So if you're into pin trading and you want to take some pins and see if there's something worth trading, definitely worth at least checking out, right? That's outside the main kind of gift shop. They also had ukulele lessons, so you can't say ukulele once you do this.
Ukulele.
You have to say ukulele. You have to say it right.
Ukulele.
And
ukulele.
That's the lessons are free, which was pretty cool. But you have to sign up to go downstairs, kind of where they have all the different activities, and sign up. And the way it was split up was basically just by family. It's split up to where you have just 5 families. That's not because of COVID. That's just because you're actually walking around. There's one guy giving a lesson, and then a second guy walking around making sure that you're kind of doing things right and helping out. So that's so that the groups don't get too big. They break it down to 5 families or 5 groups.
Mm-hmm.
So we did it. Everyone was able to get an ukulele, including the baby. And like I said, that one was free. That one was worth going down early and snagging a spot for. A chair, whatever. But doing that was pretty cool because you get a little bit of history and background with that instrument and what it means to the people of Hawaii, and why it's synonymous with them and why they continue to kind of play it. And then you're also learning how to play the instrument with it as well. So
right.
That was pretty cool. So that was our Monday, which is, like I said, swimming, paddleboarding, some other things to kind of consider. The whole trip can be it can be expensive. So for our time there, it was about $2,200 for our entire trip. We paid about a $453 deposit, and then we owed $1,800 when we got there. So it's not cheap, but it is worth going to. Like I said, if I could have done it longer, I would have done a longer trip. What I would recommend, at least.
But you're not talking about airfare. You're just talking about your stay there.
That's just our stay there. Yeah,
yeah.
Our airfare was about $1,500.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it adds up quickly, but if you're going to Hawaii, it's beautiful. The people, the island, the food, the culture, everything is it's a beautiful place to visit, and it's unlike anywhere really in the U.S. because of the culture and of the people that are there. Like there's just so much different history there than what you're going to get when you visit another state. So it is 100% worth visiting. But again, Aulani, it's expensive, and maybe you can go somewhere else on the island, stay somewhere for a little bit cheaper, use those days to go explore the island and go see some of the other parts of it, and then do like 1 or 2 days at Aulani. But it's a beautiful resort, and you should at least spend at least a day there, day and night there, if you can.
Okay.
Cool.
Right on. Well, that was a extensive review of the Sandoval trip.
Yeah, but it's good because that gives a lot of info for people who are maybe haven't been or contemplating it. Like, because you're going along like, okay, I didn't know about that.
A lot of the stuff I did not know about.
No idea about.
That's really good.
Yeah.
A lot of things to consider. A lot of things you may want to skip. Right on. That's great.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I said, though, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, okay, I want to do this, don't let me be the one to sway you to do something or don't do something. You be the one. This is just was just kind of my experience. Honestly, like, even if I say don't do it, just do it all if you can.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be the ultimate judge of whether or not something was worth it. But
oh yeah.
I would 100% recommend going there, even if it's just for the day or night. Like I said, my first reaction was, this is effing stupid.
Yeah.
Which was how beautiful it was, and it was great. So
awesome. Okay, well, this is going to wrap up episode number 144.
Our mega episode 144.
I may do some post editing because I may break this up into 2 shows because it's just So we'll see how I can figure that out. Yeah. Fernando, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thanks,
it's been a long evening.
No, thank you guys. And so I know it's been a super long episode, right? Probably longer than any of us anticipated.
Yeah.
Mark, you still owe me the 5 questions. I won't make you ask them now because we've been up so late. So you're gonna have to have me on another time.
Dude, absolutely. We can definitely do that.
Yeah, we can. We need to. Yeah.
Yes, we will. We have maybe sometime we'll phone in.
We'll do a phone in real quick when we're doing an episode. Like, okay, here we go. We'll do these real quick. Yeah.
Actually, Marcus is supposed to drop by fairly soon.
Yeah.
So maybe we can have it sometime.
We'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. When Marcus comes by, we'll have you. Hopefully, you can chime in and call in, and we'll have both of you guys real quick.
Sounds good.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Right on. So that's gonna wrap up episode number 144. Fernando, where can people find you if you want to be found?
If you want to be found.
Yeah, no, I guess I do want to be found. And just real quick again, guys, thanks again for having me. You guys have been incredible. Just listening to some of the guests that you've had, like we've had some just almost Disney royalty on the podcast, and
we got more coming.
It's
been amazing. Even like some of the other like patrons, like or just some of the other people, like listening to Eric Marcus when he was on was great.
Who?
Marcy.
Eric. Yeah.
Eric. Yeah, his was cool.
Like, Eric.
Listening to him coming around and becoming a Disney fan.
Mm-hmm.
Marcy, just some of the different people who are involved with like some of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
artists and stuff. It's been cool listening to you guys and, seeing you guys grow from tiny little podcast that could to what you guys are now. You guys are just a behemoth that can't be stopped.
Oh, man.
Jake has to check with you guys.
He should.
Any kind of decisions.
He totally should.
To answer your question, yes. So I'm on Instagram. It's at Fernando Strikes Back. It's a nod to The Empire Strikes Back.
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
And then on YouTube, probably start posting some more stuff. It's just a small thing that I was just doing mainly just for family. But if you look up, it's Dad Life, Lyfe for life. And I think life is also Lyfe.
Oh.
I got a couple of videos. I'll start posting some more stuff. Probably post some of the Aulani stuff on there. If not, it'll be under Princess Leia TV. That was my kids' other YouTube channel. They're posting stuff, but I do have on mine right now just a small, like, minute and a half kind of iPhone recap highlight of some of the pictures that we took in Aulani. So cool. People can go on there to check it out. Hit me up. I have nothing but time. I can answer all kinds of questions if you're unsure on anything or you want me to tell you just anything. I'm always there. I'm open. Okay. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on.
And I'll take the moment to say thank you, Fernando, for being, around for as long as you have. Everything that, you're kind of one of the examples we use for why we keep on going, even though we had that 1 year and a half of just hell. And like Mark and I would just sit here with Jess and just grind. Like we need to keep it going. And you and other listeners like you were the main drive for continuing and not slowing down and not, wanting to give up and like just, okay, we'll take a break for now. Like, so I appreciate you. I try to say it as often as I can. Mark does, I know Jess does. So
yeah, absolutely, dude.
As much as you, enjoy us, we enjoy you back, brother. And I appreciate everything, all the support you've been giving us now for years. And I can't wait to meet you in the park again and hang out and have a few beers and go walk around, and have Luke and Marissa come in, snake people around and be OG. So, so yeah, man, it means the world that you listen and take your time and this, taking your time and effort to, give a very, very detailed thing about everything and trying to help other people and help more of the family. So thank you, man, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Make me cry here. Thank you.
No, I mean, I don't want to say that. Oh, I'll just say the same thing Udi said. It's I did not get the privilege to meet you. I think I was like a day or two off last time.
Yeah, a day off.
A day off. Was it the day after?
Yeah,
Bryce?
A day after. Yeah. I think it was a day after, maybe two, but yeah. Yeah.
So I just missed you by a day, but I did get to meet Jacob and Seth that one day. So next time, dude, we'll definitely hang out. And, like I said, you've heard me say this many times before, but, dude, when I started this with the idea, it was just to get stuff off my chest and to talk about things and Udi, wanted to get on board. And, those first 4 episodes, we're starting at, what time is it now? Like 11:30, 11:10. Those first 2 or 3 episodes, we didn't even start until like midnight because we had other things going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, crap, this is not even going to work. But to realize that we've impacted people's lives in a positive way, I guess we have. But we made this connection with people, and that means everything to me, and we've got a really cool Padre/Charger fan that we can, connect with and talk to. And, you've been loyal since day one. A1 since day one, right? Is the phrase or something like that? What the kids say?
Yeah.
Okay. But no, dude, it means a lot to me that we're able to connect, and we would have never been able to talk if we had never done this. Did you ever find that crazy?
Yeah, no.
All the shit that...
Often, I think about, I say it all the time, like my life altered, and I didn't realize it when we began, but that was a turn, and I had no idea. So yeah, I mean, I look back and I'm like, holy crap! All the people I've met, all the people I had been able to talk to, places I've gone, never would have happened unless you said, "Hey, come do a podcast."
Come do a podcast about Disneyland, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay, fine. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. Tell me to go talk more? What? Okay.
No. Right. So no, I again to circle back on that. I'm gonna circle back on that, Rudy, just for you.
Thank you, Misaki.
Yeah, dude. I mean, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for hanging out all these 5 years and almost 6 years now. We started this thing. It means a lot to me. Everything to me that you and people from the get-go have stuck with us, because I know there's a lot of Disney content out there. I don't even consume it all because it just is overwhelming. But I'm glad that we've made a niche here with people and a connection. And you're one of the reasons why, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we need to sign up for the show.
Oh yeah, we do. Okay, go ahead. I'll keep on going. Okay. Where can people find me?
Okay.
Okay, you can find me on my other show. We are on hiatus. It is the Mando Show. We will be coming back end of December for sure for Book of Boba Fett. We may have one more in the can coming before that. We haven't fully talked about that, but you can find me there. Yeah. With the aforementioned Jay Pitty, along with my brother and this guy, Chad, my buddy Chad.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
That guy. He actually goes by this guy on Instagram with a lot of eyes. It's like this guy. You can find me there, and you can find me on my socials, which will be primarily Instagram. I'm pretty much getting rid of all the other things because I said it before, Twitter is a cesspool. So, you can find me on my Instagram, which is HAXGOALIE. Yeah. Haxgoalie. You can DM me there. And then if you want to reach me through the show, Mark will tell you how, because he reads everything.
I do. And for that, you can reach us at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com or DM us on Instagram. I don't have access to the Facebook page or Twitter. Actually, I have a thing for Twitter, but I don't do anything on Facebook. I think
Twitter.
Who does Facebook? Is it Jess? It's Jess? Okay, someone does that for us. See, that's how it is with LTP. We have people who do stuff for us.
Yeah.
Not really. Just that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, on Instagram is the best way to get a hold of us.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that.
Yeah.
Okay, dudes. Thank you so much for sticking through all of this with us.
Yeah, mega episode. We're giving back because we took a week off.
We took a week off.
We're double timing it.
We're double timing it.
Yeah.
All right. So for that, we love you all. We will see you in Parks Adventures out there.
See you.
See ya.
Bye.